Welcome to this week's School of Real Madrid video, where we look back to one of the most fun performances from the 2016-2017 season. Before we get underway, we just wanted to let you know that our video producer, Kardakai, is still currently away, so we had to do with the resources we had, and the video production isn't as great as it normally will be, and we apologize for that. The 2016-17 season was eventful. Real Madrid became the first ever team to win back-to-back Champions League titles, captured La Liga for the first time in 5 years, went on a 40-match unbeaten run, and managed countless comebacks. It was also the season that we saw some of Zinedine Zidane's best coaching performances. While he's been labeled as a man-manager more than a tactical wizard, he definitely had his great tactical moments. One of them came against Jorge Sampaoli's Sevilla in the first leg of the Copa del Rey round of 16. Sampaoli is well known as one of the best pressing coaches in the world, and by January 2017, he had turned Sevilla into a top-class side. Against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey, however, he curiously decided to abandon his usual back three formation in favor of a 4-3-3 or 4-2-2-2 of sorts. Zidane responded with a 4-3-3 of his own, choosing to rotate out regulars Benzema, Bale, and Ronaldo for Asensio, Morata, and James Rodriguez. The familiar Kroos, Casemiro, Modric trio patrolled the middle of the park, ahead of a back line of Marcelo, Nacho, Varane, and Carvajal. Kiko Casilla got a rare start in goal. Right away, Real Madrid engaged in a high press in a quest to dominate the game. This was a bit surprising, given that Madrid had never managed to press well on a consistent basis up till that point in the Zidane era. That wasn't the case on this occasion, however, as Madrid's structure and compactness were both excellent. Real Madrid engaged in an unorthodox style of pressing that began in a 4-1-4-1 scheme whenever Sevilla decided to build out from the back. Morata would block up the deep option from midfield, forcing a pass out wide to one of the center backs. When this happened, Modric or Kroos would step out of midfield and press the center back with the ball. James or Asensio, the players who would usually do this in a traditional pressing scheme, would instead drop deeper to guard the fullbacks. Casemiro would support this structure by shifting to the free midfielder that Modric or Kroos had abandoned, while Morata shifted over to the wing in question. This had the effect of boxing in Sevilla, which forced them into difficult passes that coughed up possession. It also allowed Madrid's fullbacks, Marcelo and Carvajal, to drop deeper and mark the opposition wingers, ensuring additional numbers defensively and greater defensive width. Sevilla had difficulty trying to play through the press and ended up having to hit long balls more than they would have liked. Casemiro, Varane, and Nacho dealt with this easily and won the vast majority of their aerial duels. To ensure total domination of the game, Real Madrid also played with a fierce counter-press, meaning they tried to win the ball back immediately after losing it. Sevilla barely had any time to breathe. Any time they touched the ball, whether it was from a goal kick or after a successful defensive sequence, Zidane's men were breathing down their necks. Unsurprisingly, Zidane's strategy soon resulted in a goal, with Kroos and Casemiro casting a net around Sevilla's midfield after they lost possession in the 11th minute. James came in from the right wing, picked up possession after an excellent Casemiro tackle, and scored a brilliant goal from distance. 18 minutes later, Varane scored from a set piece, putting Real in a dominant position, something that was further solidified after James scored a penalty just before halftime. Sampaoli tried, throughout that first half, to try a press of his own, but it didn't work nearly as well as Zidane's. This was because Madrid had two effective press-resistant mechanisms: long balls from Kiko Casilla and short passing down the flanks. The first occurred thanks to some clever positioning from Modric, who moved behind Sevilla's midfield line to show as an outlet for Casilla and to fight for second balls. If this didn't work, Asensio and James would drop very deep to form passing triangles and advance play down the flanks. Thanks to their technical ability, Madrid rarely lost the ball in these situations and were able to control possession for most of the game. The combination of Madrid's unorthodox yet effective pressing scheme and elite press resistance completely overwhelmed Sevilla, leading to a 3-0 scoreline by halftime. After the break, Zidane played it smart and went more conservative. Madrid dropped deeper and looked to get their opportunities on the counterattack. Thus, the second half went goalless, allowing Madrid to secure their victory and assume a commanding position going into the second leg. The win also moved Real Madrid's incredible unbeaten run to 38 games and showed the world that Zidane could be more than just a motivator and man-manager when he wanted to be. Thanks for watching this week's School of Real Madrid video. If you like our work, please consider supporting us through our Patreon and be sure to follow us on all our social media channels.